Hi, everybody. Super excited to be here. We have an amazing host or amazing guest coming right up. And her name is Nina Macarie, and she is going to be talking to us about the visibility. Oh, I've lost your title, hon. So if you can let us know your title, but welcome you guys to Nina. And I can't wait for her to talk to us about visibility.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Consuela. Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here. My talk title is 5 Steps to Start Your Visibility Journey as a Female Entrepreneur. As someone who started this online business thinking that all I'm going to do is to work behind the scenes, I know a few things about the fears that can come up before starting this visibility journey as an entrepreneur. So things like I am not good enough, or maybe I don't know enough, I don't have enough knowledge, who am I to do this? So I struggled a lot. And at some point, I even thought that visibility is only for extroverts or for the most successful people out there. And now I can tell you from my own experience that this is not the case, because I'm an introvert and here I am on this stage. So what I want to tell you is that no matter who you are, where are you coming from, no matter what your background is or how old you are, you can still start your visibility journey and you can be a speaker so you can market your business. And I think I can start with the 5 steps that I have for you today, right?
Well, so is that the reason that you're most passionate about visibility?
This is one of the reasons, but also I've seen my clients accomplishing amazing things once they get comfortable getting featured on podcasts. And this is why I want to do this for myself and for all of my clients, because I am not only a dreamer, I'm also a doer. So I want to help people accomplish their dreams.
Oh my goodness. Yay. A lot of people dream and
But
they
they don't.
stuck in dream mode. So
Exactly.
helping them figure out how they can get past dream mode is amazing. How do you get started with someone? How do you get them started past that dream mode into making it real?
Well, first of all, you make a decision. And I remember when I did this the first time, it was during a challenge that I took, and I decided that I want to be a braver and a more courageous business owner. I was not specific enough, but still something magical happened. And trust me, I am the least woo-woo person, but I had people tagging me in Facebook groups or messaging me, or I had coffee chats with business owners that I've just met, and they were inviting me to be featured on their podcast. So this is what I want from you. How many of you will want to get more visible? And by visible and by being a speaker, this does not mean that you will have to be live on a stage. This is just one of the many possibilities. For me, this means that you are willing to share your message on your platforms or on other people's platforms, whether that is online or offline. So here's what I want you to do. If you have a Post-it note, I want you to write down, I am a speaker and I share my message on my platforms and on other people's platforms. And put it somewhere where you can see it every day. If you are going to do this, just put a me in the chat. Because this is the first thing that you need to do. You need to decide who do you need to be, and then you need to take action every single day. So ask yourself, every time you are going to see that Post-it note, I'm a speaker, you need to think about, what will I do today so I can act like a speaker? What is that one little thing that I'm going to do that will bring me closer to the person I decided I want to be. And sometimes this might be that you need to connect with someone new or follow up with someone that you've met, or you need to work on some slides, or you need to send the pitch, or you need to think about your topics. And I think this is another thing that can keep you stuck. Some people like me don't know what their main topic is. I mean, this is what I used to be. I did not know what should I talk about. And they struggle because they don't feel they are an expert yet. And other people who are multi-passionate entrepreneurs have too many ideas. But for today, just pick one. Think about what do you want to be known for, and then start from there. If you want people around you to see you as a speaker, then you need to act like one. So I hope that you wrote on that sticky note that you are going to be a speaker, and then you will take action from today on. But then we are going to move to step 2, because making a decision is not enough. And this doesn't mean that you are going to do things perfectly. So for me, step number 2 is accept and embrace the mistakes. We are not going to look for perfection because we are new to this. So not everything is going to be sunshine and rainbows. I remember the first time when I sent my first speech on behalf of one of my clients. I was just starting out and I got my first no. So I felt so terrible. I felt so dumb. And I was thinking, oh my God, I can't do this right. And I couldn't even tell my client that day that we got a no. This is how bad I felt. But then luckily she was wiser, and she is also a podcaster, and she has an understanding of how things work. And she just told me to keep up, and this is to keep going. And this is what I did. And I think here is where people do it wrong. We start doing one new thing, but we have high expectations. We expect to perform at our highest level, even when we are just starting out. So please don't tell me that it's just me thinking that. But when we start something new, we need to allow ourselves to make mistakes, to learn from those mistakes. In my case, I needed to learn how to create a great pitch, but also not to focus on the outcome, because there are a lot of factors that you don't have control. So don't let yourself fall into the trap of I am not good enough. Make mistakes, learn from them, and then just move on. Then it's time to move to step number 3. Focus on your people. Why is this important? I think that we can let ourselves so easily caught into this drama of what is my family or my friends or other people that we care about, or sometimes even strangers. What are they going to say about? What are they going to think of us? And actually, I had people telling me that my background is not pretty enough, or that I should wear, I don't know what kind of clothing because my hair is so light. So people will have an opinion no matter what you will do or say. But they don't know what our deepest struggles are. They don't know what our challenges are. They don't know what we are going through. So they don't know that I'm doing my best with what I have right now. Because if I'm going to wait until I will have the perfect background or the perfect outfit or perfect makeup, perfect hair, or until I will have the perfect talk, do you think I will be here today? No, I wouldn't. I would still spend time in the waiting, in the perfectionist mode, instead of doing and making progress. And I don't want that for you. I want you to take action so you can make progress. So this is why it's important to focus on your people. Who are your people? Like your people are maybe is a bestie, maybe is a mentor. Your people are those who are interested in hearing your message, the ones that will get you, the ones that can relate to what you have to say, the ones that, in my case, are interested in getting more visible, the ones that maybe need an encouragement or an action step, or they need to hear a different perspective, or maybe they are just inspired by my story. And they are my people, and I decided that I will give my attention and my energy to those people instead of paying attention to the people who don't even understand how my business goes, or they will never become my clients. So now that we have a group of people, or at least we have a friend that we can talk about our business and our struggle, it's time to take some action. And what I want to say, yes, that is okay to start small. Sometimes people think that we need to do this huge action, we need to take this huge leap. And for me, this approach did not work. Maybe for you will work. So you need to try. You need to be willing to experiment. For example, I just did a Facebook Live as part of a challenge, but then I stopped doing it because it was not the right approach for me. I had to do something else. So for me, what worked was to take smaller steps, to enjoy my journey and to celebrate my progress. So what I did was to join networking events where I had to introduce myself. And again, I remember how terrified I was the first time I was participating in my first networking event. And the person, so we were in a small breakout rooms. And then when we went back to the main room, the person I connected with decided to share who I am, and she got it wrong. And oh my God, I felt so terrible. But so I felt that I have two choices. One of them is to listen to this inner voice who said, you did a crappy job at introducing yourself, so why are you even doing this? Or I had this other choice. And since I already made my decision that I'm going to be a better business owner, well, that meant for me that I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to talk to more people. And I decided to listen to this voice. So I went to other networking events. I got better at introducing myself. And then I went from being the person who was the last to introduce herself in the breakout room to hosting my first online event this year, because I gave myself the permission to practice over and over again. And another thing that I do was to record myself talking on video. I started initially with 1-minute videos, then with 5-minute videos, then with 10 minutes video. And I know that the initial reaction is to just record yourself, and then you don't even have the courage to look at those recordings. But now I enjoy those recordings, and actually I like to edit them. So instead of focusing on the mistakes that I did, I'm going to focus on the progress. And this is what matters to me, right? Because think about it. If you decide to learn how to play guitar, will you learn after your first session? I don't think so. If you will stop and then decide to try something else, you're not going to learn. And the same with speaking and with visibility. If you need to practice more behind the scenes, just do that before you are going to show up on a real stage. So decide what approach is going to work for you. Maybe for you is the big leap. You go all in and you make it work, or you will need to take smaller steps, Maybe you need to have more conversations with your bestie and get her feedback. Maybe you can join a Facebook group where you can practice going live so you can get more comfortable. Maybe you need to join a program, and you can even start doing small collaborations. For example, you can do a collaboration reel. You can do an Instagram takeover where you record yourself first and you can edit that recording, but the other person will put it on her stories and you will get in front of new people. Or you can even do a freebie swap. So it doesn't matter what this visibility means for you, what those steps are. It's important to take actions, and then I guarantee that you will see amazing results. And finally, we are at step number 5. This is my favorite because this is feel the fear and do it anyway. How many of you are going to let this fear stay in the way of achieving your dreams? How many of you have big dreams that you want to accomplish? If this is you, put dream in the chat. Are you going to let those fears stop you from achieving those dreams? Because guess what? Once you get comfortable doing this one thing, let's say that you've decided to go live on Facebook, and then once you decide to do the next move, let's say you will decide to get featured on podcast interviews, the fear will come up again, because now you are going to do something different. You will record on Zoom with someone that you maybe don't know, and what if they are going to ask you something and you don't have the right answer? Or what if you are going to stumble, right? And again, you will have that inner voice. So what will you do? Are you going to talk yourself out of it? Or are you deciding to move forward and just do it, because the fear will never go away? So these were my 5 steps. I hope that you are willing and decided to take action today, because people need to hear from you. People want to connect with you. So put yourself out there, be brave and courageous, and share your message.
So Nina, I had a question for you. So
yeah.
You're talking about your 5 steps, and I'm going to have you like recap them for us in a minute here. But you know, even right away, what you were saying about let's make the decision to be a speaker, and how can you focus on that each day? I thought that is just brilliant. But then you're moving into this, you know, how do I know what I speak about? And how do I get past perfection? And I think that is something that so many entrepreneurs just in business face. But then when you bring that into, I want to speak about something, you know, especially if you have any kind of years of experience, I don't want to call anyone old, but if you have years of experience, chances are you're good at a whole host of things and feel that you could speak about all kinds of topics. So it can be really hard to narrow down that one topic. So do you have any tips to help folks, like how do you narrow down to you know, I get make a decision, we're going to make a decision, but making that decision can be difficult. So how do we figure out like what's the one topic we want to stick with?
So I would start with thinking about my ideal client. Like, who are they? What kind of help do they need? And then what are some questions that I get from potential clients? For example, if I'm sending, you know, my weekly newsletters, what questions do I get from them? Or what questions do I get in my DMs on Instagram or on Facebook or whatever platform you are on? So you can start using those questions as topics for your talk. And then you don't have to limit yourself to just one talk. Depending on your audience, you can have 2, 3, multiple talks. And you also need to think about the stages your ideal client is on their journey, right? For example, I could have people that are just starting out their visibility journey. But then I can have other people who are already podcasters, like they have their topics, they have all the things in place. They just need help with someone to reach out to other potential hosts, right? So depending on where your ideal client is on their journey and the things they are looking for, the solutions they are looking to get from you, I would start from there to decide on the topics that I could talk.
That's really good advice, because it is like it can be a smorgasbord. So get in there. So if you could real quick just summarize, what are your 5 steps?
Absolutely. So step number 1 was make a decision. Decide that you want to be more visible, you want to be a speaker, and then take action every single day. Step number 2 is accept and embrace the mistakes. We are going to make mistakes. No one is perfect. I have not seen anyone on a presentation who did not stumble on their words or made a mistake. So do not expect to be the perfect speaker. Just focus on the message. So accept those mistakes that you are going to make, embrace them, and move forward. Step number 3 is to focus on your people. For example, you might be a business owner who works with online entrepreneurs, but maybe you have 1 or 2 people who have product-based businesses. Are you going to craft a new talk for just those 2 people that maybe are interested in what you have to say? I think that is not going to worth your time if your main focus are those online businesses. So focus on your people, people who can support you, but also people who are interested in hearing your message. Step number 4, start small or do the big leap, whatever works for you. But here is important to take action and be consistent, because just doing one thing once is not going to work for you or for anyone, right? You need to do this over and over again. And then finally, step number 5 is feel the fear and do it anyway, because you will want to accomplish those big dreams. And I'm all about supporting people to accomplish their dreams, whether they want to spend more time with their families and their kids, whether they want to travel, or they want to focus on a new hobby. No matter what their dreams are, I really want to support them to accomplish those dreams.
Now, I heard a rumor that you have a gift for our audience today. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So when you decide to be a guest on podcast interviews and share your message so you can grow your credibility and your authority this way, also to connect with potential clients, in order for you to have an impact on those people and then maybe even get a few new clients, you will need to have some things in place. So this is why I came up with a free checklist, so I can help you have those things prepped and then just go be amazing on podcast interviews. So I included here 10 things that you will need to have in place in order to be an amazing podcast guest.
And then I would just ask everybody out there, if you guys could click on that link and make sure it's working for us, if you wouldn't mind doing that. And next up, our speaker is Lotus, and she's going to be speaking about the love mojo. Ooh, that sounds fun. And before we, all right, Tammy's saying, yes, it's working. So that's really awesome. And before we get out of here today, Nina, I just wanted to ask you, what are your final words of wisdom for everybody today?
So my biggest question for you is, Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that you can start this visibility and speaking journey? Do you believe that you already have everything it takes for you to be a great speaker? I do believe in you. I do believe in you, and I believe in myself. And I think that you already have that message in you. All it takes now is take action and go share your message.
That is incredible. I love those words. You guys, we got to do it. Let's do it. And thank you so much for being here today, Nina. It was a joy to chat with you here in front of everybody today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm Consuela. Cheers.